Hi guys, I'm Tamara, the Food Director at Woolworths Fresh magazine, and today I'm going to show you how to make a simple short crust pastry that we're then going to transform into a gorgeous galette. Don't know what a galette is? Don't stress, I'm going to show you, and I can guarantee it's super tasty. Wash your hands first. Okay, so I'll talk you through the ingredients that you're going to need. So for the short crust pastry, you just simply need 2.5 cups of plain flour, which is 300 grams, 250 grams of chilled unsalted butter, which I've cubed, half a cup of chilled water, 2 tablespoons of caster sugar, I'm almost going to forget what's in this, 1 tablespoon of vinegar or lemon juice, and a pinch of salt. And then for the galette ingredients, I've got 2 punnets of strawberries, which is about 500 grams, 3/4 cup of caster sugar, a tablespoon of vanilla extract, 2 tablespoons of corn flour, and then some flaked almonds for decoration. All right, so the first thing that I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna rearrange some things. Then I'm gonna bring in the strawberries. So these are gorgeous. What I'm gonna do is macerate them. And macerate just means I'm gonna add some sugar. So that's at 3/4 cup. And then just give that a little stir. And what that's gonna do is, as that sits there while we make the pastry, it's gonna encourage those strawberries to give up their juices so they don't get soggy in the oven. So just simply toss them like that, and then we're gonna set them aside. Okay, so you don't have to be a pastry pro to make this. I'm gonna show you just how simple making pastry from scratch is. So I've got a food processor, but if you don't have a food processor, you can just use a bowl and use your fingers to break the butter up. So, to the food processor, I'm adding that flour. And then I'm also adding the chilled butter, sticking to the bowl. Cool. And then just a pinch of salt. Also 2 tablespoons of the caster sugar. I'm doing this backwards. It's a bit difficult. So you can't hear me. So you can see that I'm just doing a few pulses in the food processor. We don't want to over process this mixture, otherwise you'll end up with really tough pastry. We want it to be super light, flaky. So you'll know that it's ready when you can just see that there's some little flecks of butter still in there that are kind of like pea size, and then you've got some other little chunks in there too. We don't want to completely overdo it at this point. So now it's time to add the iced water. So I'm adding in 1/2 cup. I'm also adding in a tablespoon of vinegar. This is really going to help you. This is a little tip and trick. It's going to stop the gluten development in the pastry, so it's going to stop it from becoming tough. Now we're ready to blitz it. Okay, so you can see that it's started to come together into a, kind of cohesive dough in that food processor. And if I pick up a piece and I press it, it definitely comes together. So it's ready to roll out. If I can get this off. There we go. All right, so I'm just gonna clear some stuff first, make some space. Now we're on to the best part, which is rolling out the pastry. So I've got a clean work surface. I'm just gonna lightly dust that with flour. Then all I'm gonna do is tip out that pastry. It is important to work a little bit quickly with this. We want to keep everything nice and cold. I'm just going to pop this in the sink. Now it's time to get rolling. Okay, so just lightly press it together before we roll it out. Don't be too rough with this. And if it is starting to stick to the bench, you can just flip it over. So you can make this dough up to 3 days in advance and then keep it in the fridge. Or you can wrap it really tightly and freeze it and keep it for up to 3 months. What I'm trying to do is just make a bit of a long rectangle. Then we're going to do a little bit of a letter fold. So letter fold is just folding this top down and then bringing the other bottom part up to meet it. Now we're going to roll it once more. So all we're going to do is wrap that up tightly and pop it in the fridge for about 30 minutes. What that's going to do is it's going to allow your pastry to rest a little bit, which means it's not going to contract and shrink too much in the oven. And in that time, we'll get the berries ready. Okay, so my oven is preheated to 180 degrees and my pastry is just about ready to come out of the fridge. So it's time to strain off my strawberries. So if you want to come and have a little look, So look at how much liquid has come off those strawberries while they've been sitting there and macerating. So I also could have used any fruit for this tart, any fruit that you like. Just use 500 grams and then just mix that with the sugar and leave that to sit. Okay, so I'm going to strain those strawberries just to get rid of that extra liquid which could make our tart soggy. So I've just got a strainer here and a bowl underneath it. Bowl underneath it is definitely key. And I'm just going to give that a little bit of a shake just to get some of that liquid off. They actually just smell so beautiful and fragrant right now. So I'm just going to slide those back into that bowl. Cool. I'm just going to set that aside. Then I'm going to add some corn flour and the vanilla to this. So just sprinkle over the corn flour. Try to sprinkle it so that we don't end up with large clumps in there. And add the vanilla to that too. Just really gently mix at this stage. We don't want to break up the strawberries. So you can see they're nice and coated. And now we can just set that aside while we roll out the pastry. Okay, so I've got my pastry there and I've also rubbed my rolling pin with a little bit of flour so it doesn't stick. So now we're going to roll that out. And we don't have to be really perfect with this. It's a rustic tart by nature, so that is the best thing about this. It's a bit freeform, it's a bit freestyle, but that's what I like about it. So I am aiming for a semi sort of round shape, but I'm not stressing too much about it. What is important is that you try and get an even thickness on that dough. Just notice that I'm just spinning it around when I need to alternate where I'm rolling it. If you do find it sticking, you can just lift it up and then just sprinkle a little bit of extra flour. So this is done, it's a nice even thickness, it's about 30 centimeters in diameter. So I'm going to grab a tray and pop that on there. So just grab that dough, put that onto there. Okay, so time to add the beautiful strawberries to this tart. All right, so I'm just going to pile those into the center. I'm trying to pile these nice and high because they will, sort of flatten out a little bit in the oven. Now it's time to pleat the pastry around those gorgeous strawberries, which isn't as difficult as it sounds. So just take the corners like this, press them together, twist your tray as you go. So you can see this is really rustic, but that actually looks quite beautiful, I think. Just press gently just to seal it. Great. Okay, now I'm going to brush the edges of that pastry with a little bit of egg wash. It's going to make it nice and beautiful and golden. So just be gentle because this pastry is quite delicate. I'm just brushing all in the same direction. Try and make sure it's completely covered and that you're just getting it onto the pastry, not those gorgeous strawberries. Now this step is optional, but I think it just adds a little bit of flair to this dish, and that's some flaked almonds around the edges. So I'm using a couple of tablespoons, and what I'm going to do is just break these up a little bit and then just try and press these into that egg wash. So don't worry if they go everywhere. This is actually the fun part. A little bit of decoration never hurt anyone. So I think we're ready to bake. It actually looks so beautiful already and we haven't even baked it yet. So I'm really excited for when it comes out. So just pop this in the oven now. Time to clean up while you're waiting, I guess. It's probably gonna take about 40 minutes. Just check on it periodically, give it a turn if your oven is hot in some spots. But you'll know it's ready when that pastry is beautiful and golden and the fruit is bubbling and delicious. It's ready, so let's check it out. So I've left it in there a little bit longer, about 50 minutes in total, just until those almonds were beautiful, roasted, golden brown. And check out that fruit too, beautiful and caramelized. So a little tip for you, I actually saved some of that syrup that I drained off the strawberries before, which is gorgeous. So I'm gonna actually use that to brush the roasted strawberries to give them a beautiful shine before we serve it. Yum. And for the finishing touch, I'm gonna dust this with some icing sugar. Guys, galette, how easy is that? It's so simple to actually make pastry at home, and this is a super simple way to impress your friends. Make it today. For more recipe inspiration just like this one, head online, grab your latest issue of Fresh magazine, or check out my other videos.